Welcome to the Weekly Dose of Stars. I'm your host, Graham Breitenstein, a professional dancer and movement coach for icons like, Idina Menzel, Lady Gaga, Meghan Trainor, just to name a few, turned professional astrologer, certified oracle card reader, and founder of Drunk Astrology. Each week on this podcast, I'm breaking down the astrological transits that need to be on your radar so you know exactly what energy to tap into and what opportunities to take advantage of in order to achieve your biggest goals, your juiciest manifestations, all while consciously co-creating your life with Team Uni. That's my affectionate pet name for the universe. So get ready. You're about to align your actions, dreams, and biggest manifestations with this week's Dose of Stars. Hello and happy Monday to all the dosers of the world. We are here talking about the week of February 2nd through the 8th, 2026. My God, we are officially in the second month of the new calendar year. Whoa, that feels crazy to say, but nonetheless, it is the truth. And this is a power-packed month. Now, I have been shouting from the rooftops since August of 2025 how transformative the first 3 months of 2026 are, and February is about to show you why. Now, nonetheless, this is still a time where you can manifest big-ish for yourself, for your family, for the people you care about, right? There is so much potential in the air for epic alignment and for huge things to move at an accelerated clip for you. But the thing to note is that we are now officially in the universe's anything goes era. And that is because Sunday, February 1st, Leo full moon activated eclipses. All right, so we have already been seeing some eclipse-like events. Of course, in the world at large, we're seeing a myriad of politically enraging things happening across the states, across the world. We're seeing, it pains me to say, the loss of Catherine O'Hara that was sudden and fast and unexpected. And then you're going to start hearing and experiencing all kinds of other eclipse-like events, right? Marriages, engagements, divorces, breakups, crazy promotions, wild opportunities that just feel like they're coming out of the blue. So eclipses are not good. They're not bad. They're definitely not indifferent, right? But what they are is the universe stepping in and rearranging things, right? And in some ways, you can consider the eclipse experience in February and in March this year as some kind of course correction, right? So sometimes course corrections can show up in big opportunities, in the sense that like, oh, I didn't feel like I was ready for that, and now like, oh, it's on my lap. I personally have already had this experience. Many of you know I joined, it was a long-time dream of mine to be a professional swimmer. Last year on the road to turning 40, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to reclaim what I didn't have in my youth, and I'm going to figure out how to do this as an adult, and found a swim team, joined the U.S. Master Swim Team on a national level. And I officially joined in September 2025 and started training. And now I am having conversations with my coaches about competing in my first freaking meet as early as March 1st. Okay, now do I feel ready for that? No, I certainly do not. But have my coaches expressed that like, yeah, you can do it? Yeah, they have. And so I was like, literally in the back of my mind, having conversations with my coaches going, thank you, eclipses. Like, I would not do this. I I literally wasn't planning on doing any competitions until like the back half of 2026. Well, the universe has other plans. So that's another way that eclipses can show up, right? They can accelerate a path that you didn't feel like you were ready for. But it is a time where I encourage you to expect the unexpected, to not be fearful about the unknown, but just to be open to it. Okay? A lot of what helps all of us, helps humanity and helps you as an individual, helps your experience on the day to day, is simply creating space to be available for what might come up for you, what might come up for people in your life, the people closest to you. You never know. This is the time when like your life can change from one text message, right? I had a friend over the weekend send me a text that I did not expect about an unexpected surgery that her dad has to have ASAP. Okay, like that is another eclipse like event. So I want to say too, if you have anything health related that comes up during eclipses, it's a great time to not gamble on anything and to just like get yourself checked out, right? To make your appointments. I know that's big on my radar for the next couple of months, like finding a new doctor and going back to the dentist and like getting that endodontist appointment that I was supposed to do last year. Eclipses are a great time to really just like cover your bases. So just something to take with you as we move into this anything goes era for Team Uni. All right. So, as I mentioned, the Leo full moon on February 1st activated the season of eclipses. But one of the things that I spoke about with all of the people in my Moon Phase Manifestor program about this Leo full moon that I really want to share with you too, because it's a conversation and a consideration that I feel like all of us should have for these 2 weeks of this Leo full moon. And that centers around the theme of leadership. Now, we are seeing all sorts of themes of just leadership playing out in the world, right? From well, I don't need to name it, but we're seeing all different types of leadership, right? But what I really want to zoom into focus for you is, how are you being the leader of your life? And have you fully stepped into the role of leader of how your life is unfolding, right? One of my moon phase manifestors realized after we did our whole full moon training, she realized, like, you know what? When it comes to my evening routine, it's non-existent. And I'm not sleeping that great, and I'm not really feeling well rested when I do wake up. And so leadership for her came in the form of taking her power back, taking control of her evening routine and putting it in motion, because she's had a successful evening routine before, but she just has completely fallen off of it. Right now, I realized that I wanted to level up my leadership in Moon Phase Manifestor and completely rearranged the structure of how our live trainings go. And it was phenomenal, right? Our training was lit the F up, and it covered everything we needed to cover and then some, right? So Moon Phase Manifestor is like getting an all around level up when it comes to leadership, how I run the trainings, and how collaborative we are as a group, right? That's always been my vision, and now more than ever, it is a collective experience, which is always what I wanted it to be, right? But there was a notch up, and that we turned that notch up during that training. Okay, so I invite you to consider the theme of leadership and how you are and maybe how you aren't really stepping into the role of leader in your life, right? Over your decisions, over your routines, right? Over your focus. Huge, huge, huge now and for the next 2 weeks as we build up to the first of two eclipses, which is the Aquarius new moon solar eclipse, which is also the frigging Lunar New Year. Now, here's the thing. I am a big Lunar New Year manifester. I always have been, ever since I got into the woo woo space. And my God, this one is paramount. And so, what I want to share with you is that on February 17th, we're going to shift out of the year of the wood snake, where we've been since January 29th of 2025. And we're going to go into the year of the fire horse, which is so much about energy and action and courage and boldness. And the thing about Lunar New Year manifesting, separate of it also being an eclipse, which makes this a historic moment, but separate of it being also an eclipse, there is a small window of time to open the door to windfalls of opportunities, to claim all kinds of abundance for yourself in this next year. This fire horse energy, right? There's a way to activate it. There's a way to open the door to all of these opportunities and abundance and prosperity. And that's exactly what I'm going to be teaching you in this Lunar New Year masterclass that I'm leading on Sunday, February 15th. Now, I have a few quotes from people who have taken this before, because here's the deal. I have only done this in the last 3 years that I have taught my red envelope ceremony for Lunar New Year manifesting. I have only done this in very small private settings with like one-on-one clients. This is the first time I'm ever opening the door to any and everyone. But I just want to share with you some quotes that some have shared with me who did this last year. The first one is, I did this last year and I will never start a new year without doing it. It's amazing, in all caps. I woke up the next morning on the new moon in Lunar New Year feeling unstoppable, like I was ready to take on the world. I live and work in 2 different states and have been manifesting a new house. We just signed the contract. I put out my red envelope, and the next day, the owner of the pottery studio I take classes at asked me if I'd like to teach a class next term. In exchange, I get all of my classes for free moving forward. And this one takes the freaking cake. I'd been wanting to do a resort vacation this year with my husband and 4 kids. I didn't really have a big plan around it, and then my mother-in-law called out of the blue to say she wanted to take us all to a resort in Florida over our April break. All expense paid. Red envelope, you are the best. Now, that is exactly what I'm talking about when I say open the door to windfalls of opportunities, abundance, and prosperity. So if you're ready to open the door on your version of windfalls of abundance in the year of the fire horse, I have, if you're listening to this on the podcast, in the show notes, there is a link to get your ticket. Soon after you register, you'll get a confirmation email with all the details, the materials. But this class is going down Sunday, February 15th at 11:35 p.m. 11:35 a.m. Pacific, 2:35 p.m. Eastern. Okay, and so if you're in the Daily Dose of Stars Telegram chat, the link is in the special offers, but you can also scroll up on past episodes and get your freaking ticket. I'm telling you, there is this small window of time from the 15th through the 18th when you can capture your version of this and open the door all year long for these kinds of abundance, these kinds of opportunities, these all types of prosperity. So come into this class. You are going to get the red envelope ceremony from me. You're going to get 9 feng shui tips for more abundance from my girl, Christina Hollinger. And you're also going to do a little bit of eclipse manifesting drunk astro style. So just get ready, okay? Because there is so much to capture in that small window of time. And I'm going to show you exactly how to freaking do it. Now, Also, this week, we've got the Uranus, the planet of surprises, changes, eruptions, unexpected events, just adding to the eclipse of it all, stationing direct on Tuesday. So that means moving forward. And so, in essence, Uranus, as the ruling planet of Aquarius, who rules humanity and giving back, and community and memberships and circles, friendship circles, circles of people. But in so many ways, we're talking about the collective. So I'm looking at this Uranus stationing to move forward as humanity moving forward, innovation taking center stage, progressive ideals begin to march ahead. But also, Uranus is one of those planets where we feel him like sometimes to the minute. So here in the early part of the week, we want to just kind of expect the unexpected, right? We might have some kind of Uranus often rules earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Maybe, some kind of, I mean, I know we're already having a winter storm, but you never know. Let's just see. Uranus is very unpredictable. So it's just kind of like adding in to the to the eclipse, anything goes. But Monday, Tuesday, we can kind of, just let's keep our eyes peeled, especially in the news and the headlines. When aren't we seeing, those kinds of headlines? But we want to just pay special attention to any time Uranus is active, because it usually comes with some kind of unexpected surprise or event or eruption or earthquake, snowstorm. Let's just see. Okay, so that's kind of like the weekly highlight here. We of course have some other opportunities that I will be discussing in the daily episodes and the daily dose of stars. But that's the rundown of this week. As far as Monday goes, we start with the moon in Leo. Fresh off that full moon, there's an opposition to Venus at 1:56 a.m. and an opposition to Mercury at 5:55 a.m. Pacific. So we're waking up to like those clarifying moments, right? And potential argumentative, separative energy there, with Leo being loud and proud, Venus and Mercury in Aquarius, being a little like out of the box, a little chilly, a little detached from reality a little bit. So there can be some polarizing energy here in the very beginning. Oppositions are illuminating. So we are looking to see, like, is there a middle ground between what's coming up, what's erupting from the full moon energy? And then we move into a healing connection at 7:15 a.m. Pacific when the moon has a trine to Chiron. Now, the moon is void at 2:55 p.m. Void means it's asleep. And it goes void with a square to Uranus. Okay, so that's a call to connect. That's a call to be with your people, to connect with your tribe, to lean into support from others, okay, or gatherings. And so the moon is going to be void from 2:55 p.m. to 7:21 p.m. Okay, so we're looking at just about, let's see, about 4.5 hours with the moon being void. Now, when the moon is void, if that is a new term for you, maybe so if you're listening to the weekly dose of stars. When the moon is void, it means she's powered down, right? And so ideally, we're meant to create, dream, float, not put anything new in motion, not do a big grocery shop because the food goes bad faster than you think. Or it's like you spend all this money on groceries only to realize, like, oh my gosh, so much unexpected came up this week that I ate out most of the time, and my food went bad, right? Not a time when you want to buy things online because something goes wrong with the delivery, or it's the white silk shirt that you eventually like get like a whole bottle of red wine on and you have to get rid of. I have played around, as my daily dosers know, with void moons so much. And let me tell you, You don't want to mess with a void moon. So if you're someone who like has their own business or you're like a project manager, like, you can have meetings and work on things that are already in motion. But it's not advised to start anything new, to like, because anything that you begin new under a void moon, it either takes so long for it to take off or it just doesn't take off at all. Okay, so the moon's asleep. Ideally, we are too, or working on things that have already been put in motion. At 7:21 p.m., the moon enters Virgo. And when the moon is in Virgo for the next 2.5 days, it's time to get ish done. Okay, Virgo moons are great for planning, for organizing, for focusing on your health and wellness, reestablishing healthy routines, getting back into them, right? Putting down the French fries and picking up the green smoothie, to be a little to use a metaphor. Okay. And then planetary wise, there is a sextile to Chiron from Mercury at 4:33 p.m. Pacific. Healing conversations galore, right? It could even be something that's like, having to like negotiate. The sextiles are just kind of like anxiety inducing. They're forward moving and they're exciting, but they can make you a little nervous. Like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. So don't let an overthinking mind get in your way. Use the Mercury Chiron sextile to initiate, whether it's a negotiation, whether it's a compromise, or just any kind of forward moving conversation. There are big healing opportunities here, and coming off the heat of the full moon, likely this will be a welcomed kind of like cool off conversation. At least it has the opportunity to. Okay. Now, your Monday, February 2nd bad bitch affirmation is: some days good, some days shit. Not every day is going to be a good day. It's okay if all you did was make it through. Life can get real fucking heavy sometimes. Just remember that you're a badass motherfucker that's tougher than any shit life can throw at you. There it is. That's how we're starting the week off, all right? So have a great, stellar Monday. Have a phenomenal week ahead. Snatch your ticket to the Lunar New Year Manifesting Masterclass. I cannot wait to show you all the ways that you can open the door to windfalls of opportunity, and abundance and prosperity in the year of the fire horse. Christina's going to bring her feng shui magic, and oh, you are going to just you just wait. You just wait. So the ticket link is in the show notes. It's in the special offer section on Telegram. Cannot wait to see you there. There's already over 40 people who have joined us. Can't wait for you to be one of them. Let's freaking go. Manifesting big-ish. Let's go.
Astro lover, did you love this week's astro forecast? Well, just wait until you're inside the daily dose of stars. Right now, you're waking up and feeling pulled in a million directions. You're buzzing with anxiety about your new meeting. You're doom scrolling for 30 minutes before you even leave the bed. You're overwhelmed by news headlines, decisions about deadlines at work, and constantly distracted, which, of course, leaves you feeling off, unmotivated, and stuck in a loop of doing a million things but getting nowhere. My friend, this is because you haven't checked the daily energetic weather report. Riddle me this: would you ever take a trip to Europe or go camping without checking the actual weather? Hell no. So why are you going through life without checking the energy for the day ahead? The Daily Dose of Stars gives you bite-sized astrological guidance every single morning, so you know exactly what energy you're working with, exactly what to avoid, and what moves to make in order to activate the opportunities that are available for you to seize. So no more guessing, no more chaos, no more feeling pulled in a million directions and saying, what the hell is in the air right now? You'll know exactly what's in the air, and you'll also know exactly what the actual F to do with it every friggin' day. So when you're ready to start co-creating your best life with the universal energy in real time, hop inside the Daily Dose of Stars. The link to subscribe is in the show notes below. Simply scroll down and tap the link. I'll see you there.